Obviously, a good win to get. Hard-fought win. Thought our defense played extremely well. We had one takeaway. We stopped them on a fake punt. They kind of stopped themselves on a fake punt. But anyway, and then offensively, we did enough. The penalties, the 2 false starts on the 1 yard line, we can get that cleaned up. But that was frustrating. But we made enough plays, 3rd down, and obviously we have the explosive play to Lil'Jordan, and so it was a good team win. Any questions?
Yeah, Coach, you win the game, but I guess you're eliminated from the postseason. Yep. Mixed feelings about everything?
Hey, it is what it is. Look, we kind of had that opportunity a week ago, and then, but I think more importantly than any of that, and that's very important, is our focus heading into this next week and getting our 9th win, and that'll be a good challenge. Certainly, that's a goal when you start the beginning of the year. It was a goal of ours, and so, yeah, it's disappointing.
Coach Sheila, what did you see from Jarrett out there, particularly in the first half?
I thought he was good. I thought he was collected, calm. I thought he played with real good poise. You felt experience relative to a guy who hadn't had as many, minutes maybe as some others, but you certainly didn't feel that during the course of the game. I thought he was efficient in and out of the huddle. I thought he made some good throws for us overall until I see the tape, but I thought it went pretty good.
Yeah, I guess sort of following up on that, he maybe a little shaky in the first drive. I think he was 1 of 4. But how do you help a guy who hasn't played a lot sort of get into?
Well, I wouldn't say 1 of 4 shaky in the first half. It was shaky at a period in the first half.
First drive.
Yeah, first drive. Got it. Yeah. So look, you're sorting through what you're getting. They played a little bit more zone. They got some pressure looks on 3rd down. We knew that would be the case. We blocked the one up really well. The touchdown came on a 3rd down. I think it's easier sometimes when you're seeing zone defense to say, hey, we'll get started. When you're playing man-to-man, sometimes it can be a little bit more challenging. But, getting the run game going, there's a handful of things that help that position. And it wasn't perfect, and yet I'm talking about the run game. But, he's a veteran player, though. And so, we kind of go into a game. We've done this. We have a set of drive starters, and we know what these guys like, and we try to get them those plays early, especially if they're fitting the situation.
Coach, you used the example of the Lions, how they finished 9-8 last year. Is the 9th win important for momentum, or just the idea of getting a winning season to carry that into next year?
I think it's important to win, period, obviously. And then the whole time we're learning how to prevent beating ourselves. But I think it's extremely important because it's our last opportunity with this team, and getting to that 9th win means something.
Coach, can you just take us through the touchdown to Lil'Jordan Humphrey and Jarrett Stidham stepping up in the pocket?
Yeah,
and hitting him?
So it's a dig route, a couple ins, LJ, and then outside, I think Brandon. So there's a progression to it. They kind of had this double-A mug, and they brought their real good safety 3 off the weak slot, and so we kind of pushed the protection out. If you watch that play, and you guys will at some point, I hope, watch Burton in the pickup. There's times where we bring him on just from a physicality standpoint. He does a great job of picking up the A-gap pressure player, and it doesn't seem like a lot, but what it did was allow Stiddy to have a pocket to kind of climb. If you don't get that pressure while it's in the gap, then it can get up. It's a lot more difficult. The play doesn't happen. So I'd say Bert's block was important. The line did a good job picking it up. And then, shoot the run after the catch. I haven't seen the film, but my understanding is some guys did a good job blocking, usually if you have a big play, there's probably others that are away from the ball that do a good job, and so I'll be anxious to see that.
Sean, I know you're never in a hurry to get into injuries, but can you give us an update on McGlinchey and Turner Yell? Because I heard his may be a knee. And then how much will injuries play into the approach to the final game with guys that are, iffy?
But look,
beyond that?
Back to, let me answer your last question. We would approach this injury-wise like it was week 2 or week 6. If they're healthy, all right, if they're healthy and cleared, we're going to play. So that one's easy. I don't have an update. Mike's was ribs and Turner's was knee. I don't know. I think Mike's going to be fine. I'm hopeful with Turner. It sounded like it has a chance to be serious, but I don't want to give you the wrong information.
Hey, Sean, since we spoke to you Friday before Russell Wilson spoke, what did you think of his comments about how there apparently was a benching threatened? And did you know anything about that, since I would imagine a coach is responsible for benching?
Yeah, you asked that question on Friday. I think I answered it pretty well. And so when the season ends and you have questions specific to all of that, I wasn't privy to the dialogue, but you'll be able to ask the appropriate people. Russ has been fantastic this week. And I think this idea that he and I, or we don't have a good relationship, or he's not the fit, all of that stuff, I think comes from people further away from our program. You guys are close to it. So I think the further away people are from the program, the more they just jump to a narrative, and it is what it is. So, but he's approached this week like we expected, like a pro, and yeah, that's it. And so, any other questions?
Coach, how would you evaluate how Lil'Jordan Humphrey stepped up with, Sutton and Mims out today?
Good. I mean, he's been pretty consistent during the year, quietly. He's that player in Chicago that makes a play that, he's big, he's physical, he's strong. And so I'm a little bit more familiar with him. But, the confidence and the consistency, he's had a good season, especially as we acquire someone like him. He's done a good job. I'm proud of him. Thank you, Coach. All right. Thank you, guys.